use models for the characters. Anything can be models. If you try to create unique characters, I'd recommend you create your own characters as a group.
In this video, pro-Japanese manga artist Rena Saiya spills the tea on how you can design your own manga characters. Not only does she give advice on how to make them look good, she'll tell you how you can give your characters unique personalities as well. FYI, Rena Sensei is one of our mentors at Learn to Draw Manga. She has decades of experience in the manga industry, has worked with some of the biggest publishers in Japan, and also teaches at a manga school in Tokyo. She's worked with our students so they can level up from drawing fan art to finally designing their own original characters. At the end of this video, we'll tell you how you can learn directly from Rena Sensei through live weekly Zoom sessions, so make sure to stick around. In the meantime, if you want more tips and secrets from pro-Japanese manga artists, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. A couple of beginners in the viewers right now actually mentioned that they feel confident copying, but they cannot create their own original character. So when you started, did you have the same experience?
Yes, I have the same experience. And I think this is a good way to improve your drawing ability as long as the artworks you are copying are excellent, like professional ones. Yeah, I did many copying.
I think it's natural, right, that we all start off by copying. So how did you get started creating your own original characters?
It was when I decided to create my original work to submit for a manga prize. Then I was drawing illustrations of characters by using ready-made characters done by professional manga creators as models. It's okay as long as it's done as a practice and not exposed to the public. My first manga was a story about a music band. Since they act together, I tried to emphasize the difference between the characters in their personalities and appearances.
So Rena Sensei, when you start to create your own original characters, probably like one of the most difficult things is actually like to draw them in full body. Do you have any advice for our viewers as to how they can create full body characters?
I would suggest to study anatomy books for artists. I recommend to avoid two difficult ones first. So there are various books in the genre, and some of them have very detailed illustrations, and others have abbreviated ones to some extent. It will be better to start with abbreviated ones and grasp general construction of a human body. And then you can work on studying more detailed anatomy books. Unless there's a possibility that you will stop studying it halfway if it's too hard. As a beginner, it will be enough to study easier anatomy books since you can study harder ones after you get used to drawing manga. I have another advice about human movements. You can check various human photos on magazines or on the internet for sketching. For sketching, it should not take too long time to practice. Using a pencil between 5 and 10 minutes or so would be nice for one posing. Nowadays, many free videos are available on the internet. So if you find desirable or interesting posing of a human body, you can stop the video and can do sketching. They can be good references when you draw similar posing. It's desirable to study easier anatomy books beforehand, since such basic knowledge about the human body is also helpful in improving your ability to draw a human body.
When drawing full-body characters, a huge focus is always put on learning anatomy. But when you draw stylized characters, for example, how Ayazawa draws Nana, how do you balance the style with anatomy and normal proportions?
Anatomy doesn't work when it is converted into manga-like illustration, so some adjustment is needed. It's hard to explain because I'm doing that by my intuition. You should grasp your features illustration. For example, I was drawing manga for girls. It's called shoujo manga. In that case, usually main boy should be skinnier than real human being. when I see anatomy books, the illustrations are based on real human beings. It's much thicker than a boy. In that case, I try to make things skinnier of the human body. It is important to grasp features, try to adjust it. According to the rules, you can adjust anatomy into your manga style.
I feel like some people sometimes tend to overthink their drawings because they feel like, oh my gosh, I need to follow the rules. I need it to be perfect. Like what you said, sometimes you just have to draw from like intuition. And as long as you understand like the characteristics of your character will help guide you as to how you will draw your original character. Some of the things that they also struggle with is actually being consistent with their drawings. For example, let's say they create a character. They draw it once. They want to draw the same character again. But sometimes it doesn't look like the same character anymore. Do you have any suggestions to make sure that their characters still look the same? How do you stay consistent?
I recommend to create illustration which can be a base of the character in front of your desk. Try to check it every time you draw the character. Use models for the characters. Anything can be models. In Japan, constellation. We tend to think each constellation have personalities. There are 2 different constellations in Japan. You can find a lot of description about the constellation personality. You can create new character based on the personality. For example, Leo has some brave and strong. In that case, you create characters based on that kind of image. As for appearances, you can also use image of animals. For example, if you want to create very cute young girl character, you can take advantage of the image of very cute and tiny animals. What I want to say is that anything can be models as long as you can get some kind of imagination from it. If you try to create unique characters, I'd recommend you create your own characters as a group. For example, I created a music band characters. Since they work together, I should emphasize the difference between the characters. I made one of them a little bit chubbier, another one longer hair. One of them is very positive, another one is very negative. You have to emphasize the difference, unique characteristics to each of them.
A lot of anime and manga character costume designs are not very realistic. It's so hard to create them in real life. Is it important that the outfits are actually realistic, or is it more important to make them impactful?
Depends on the genre you are in. Depending on the setting of the story, sometimes strange clothes are not welcome. If the story is happening in this real life, the protagonist is high school student or something like that. So in that case, too unique design of clothes is not welcome because it should be more realistic. If it is a fantasy world, any kind of unique clothes design is okay as long as they are attractive.
Can you give me advice on how to defeat art block and being overwhelmed with creating drawings on a blank page?
You can stop drawing once and try to find interesting things. Any kind of things can be okay. It is important to turn his negative feeling into positive one. If he feels negative while he is drawing, it should be stopped once. He should try to find anything interesting, anything exciting in movies or in parties. Depends on the person. Eating a lot or listening to music a lot. It is not good to draw a lot when you have a negative feeling, because it emphasizes your negative feeling.
Are you ready to design your own original manga character? If you've always wanted to pursue your anime and manga art but had to put it aside because of other priorities, then we're here to give you a push. We want to help spark your passion so you can feel confident, happier, and more excited about life through your art. We invite you to apply to our anime and manga character drawing course. We've worked with over 200 artists and their transformations have been amazing. You'll get to work with pro Japanese manga artists like Rena Sensei through live weekly Zoom sessions. You can ask them questions directly and get feedback on your artworks. You'll also get to meet like-minded individuals that you can share your art journey with. If you've been feeling stuck with your art for years, then this might be what you need. The link to apply is in the description. If you want to meet more of our mentors and learn about how we help our students, check out these videos.